I used to spend over $500 a month just on takeout. But since quitting my job last year, I've really tightened up my finances and takeout is no longer an option. So in this video, I'm sharing how I shop and cook using simple groceries and the mindset changes that completely cured my takeout addiction. Most of my weekly grocery shopping consists of simple vegetables and tofu for protein, which is how I'm able to keep it under $50 most of the time. This week I'm planning on making another one of my loaded veggie bowls, which will include the cabbage, beets, and carrots. One area I could improve in is eating more fruit, so I did pick up this giant watermelon and the apples you saw earlier. So before I even start using the new groceries I just bought, I like to clear out any remaining groceries from last week. And I still have some bell peppers and broccoli left over from last week. Tonight my plan is to make a Chinese style cashew tofu. So that's going to use up all of these bell peppers, and I will also make fried rice to go on the side. That's going to use up the rest of the broccoli. The biggest change I've made in my cooking in the last few months, which actually gets me to eat more at home, is recreating takeout at home. I realized that I was failing to stick to eating at home because I had gotten so addicted to the taste and comfort of takeout that it was pretty much the only thing I genuinely wanted to eat. This cashew tofu was one of my favorite things to order from my local Chinese restaurant. It's spicy, slightly sweet, and really makes these bell peppers shine. The 4 key things that I've learned about Chinese cooking especially are that 1, you need to prep all the ingredients beforehand. So for this dish, I chopped up the bell peppers and set those aside, after which I cubed up a block of tofu and put it in the oven to crisp up while I work on the rest of the dish. Number 2, smashing garlic and chilies together creates the best flavor base. When you mince garlic, the flavor stays intact within the individual tiny pieces of garlic. However, when you smash it, the natural oils and flavor compounds are released, leading to a much stronger flavor. Same goes for the chilies and other aromatics. Moving on to the fried rice, this is my go-to easy recipe. I start by chopping up some broccoli, grating a couple cloves of garlic, and chopping up some onions. This leads me into the 3rd key item with Chinese cooking, which is to cook everything quickly on high heat in the right order. I always start with onions because they release water and temporarily cool down the hot oil, which gives me just enough time to add in the garlic and prevent it from burning. After just 15 seconds, I add in the broccoli and the frozen veggies, cooking them for just 30 seconds before adding in the rice. I season everything with soy sauce and the 4th key component, which is umami. Umami is a deeply rich, savory flavor that is essential to achieve that restaurant-like flavor. I like to use this yondu sauce, which is a plant-based MSG-free seasoning. However, you could use MSG or even mushroom powder if you're in a pinch, but I highly recommend this yondu sauce. I'm following the same steps to make the cashew tofu. Starting with onions on high heat, then adding in the garlic chili paste. Then I add in the bell peppers and tofu, cooking these for just 30 seconds. The sauce for this dish has soy sauce, sugar, sesame oil, that yondu umami seasoning, water, and cornstarch, which helps to thicken it up. I add in the cashews at the end and plate it up alongside the fried rice. Learning how to make such delicious food at home has really made it hard for me to even enjoy eating out at restaurants anymore, and I'm so grateful for the ability to have delicious meals like this whenever I want. A big part of eating at home is making foods that satisfy cravings and not being afraid of making indulgent meals. A lot of times I would associate indulgence with going out to eat, which is what prevented me from even trying to use the ingredients I already had at home. This day, I was craving comfort foods and decided to try out a smashed crispy potato salad. It's really fun to get creative with ingredients you already have and come up with something that you probably won't even find at a restaurant. Cooking more at home has opened up my palate to new flavors, vegetables, and unique combinations. For example, when making this potato salad, I realized that I didn't have enough mayo to make the dressing, so I added in some tahini to stretch it further, along with mustard, lemon juice, garlic and onion powder, and dried dill. I also noticed that I had some spring onions that needed to be used up, so I added those in. This crispy smashed potato salad really satisfied my craving and was a good reminder that I can easily make foods that I love right at home. I've become fascinated with how places like Sweetgreen and Kava are able to make simple salads taste so good. So taking inspiration from more health food restaurants, I've started incorporating loaded veggie bowls into my weekly rotation. This week's veggie bowl is a poke bowl, 100% based on one I had recently at a local salad spot. This restaurant makes a delicious cabbage slaw and chili lime carrots that go amazingly with the rest of the bowl, which has rice, edamame, roasted beets, crispy onions, pickled red onions, and avocado, so it is well worth the money. My homemade version is definitely a lot simpler, but it tastes just as good and does pack in a lot of vegetables. The secret really is in the sauce. For example, at Kava, they have this delicious lemon tahini sauce that goes well on anything, and I've started incorporating it into a lot of my meals as well. Similarly, at this local restaurant, they serve this poke bowl with a ponzu sauce and spicy mayo. As I continue on my own home cooking journey, I'm excited to start creating some of my own unique flavor combinations. What surprises me about this bowl is how good the roasted beets in it taste. Normally, I wouldn't even reach for beets at the grocery store because I'd have no idea what to make with them, or I'd write them off because I'd assume I don't like the taste. Same goes for the cabbage and the carrots. These are two vegetables that I rarely buy, but I know that they're packed with tons of essential vitamins and minerals, so I do need to eat more of them. Now, to be fully clear, I am an advocate for supporting small local businesses. However, as I'm healing my relationship with spending excessively on dining out, I'm realizing how important it is to recognize when a seemingly innocent action is turning into an emotionally driven need. For me, takeout was a comfort I reached for after a long day of work, particularly when I felt stressed. Now, I try to be more aware of my mental state, and cooking at home has shown me that it was never really about the food, but just the feeling of comfort I was chasing. And I'm so glad to be able to make changes in my life to better support a healthy lifestyle now. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.